Yes, people, welcome back. I'm Tyrone IDBM Edwards. Welcome to IDBM Mixing. Today we're going to get back into What Would I Do Today? This is episode 1, part 3. And the song that I'm working on is Anyone the Wanderers, New Whip Who Dis. This week I think we're going to go over what I started to do with backing vocals. Let's jump straight in. We are going to bring in backing vocals, and then some of the backing vocals, the important ones, what we feel like change the actual character of what we've been hearing vocally so far. And then we'll bring in other elements of instrumentation around that also as well. So if we jump to, let's just start here actually.
You pick music, new whip, who this, coming through, movements, where to, who with, you pick the music.
So now when you hear that in context with what's going on vocally with reverbs and stuff like that, now you start to hear, although they're not panned, they're up the center, I'm going to pan them. You'll hear them open, you'll hear them break out into the space that I've created. And then I have an easier time when it comes to EQ and compression, sitting them in the space that I've created, even though they're not even directly in, they're not being processed by the same reverb. They will be dry. There is no reverb. I may add reverb, but I may not. I may want my backing vocals, or these specific backing vocals, to have punch and character in a very dry and tight way.
You pick the music, new whip, who this, coming through, movements, where to, who with, you pick the music.
One thing I will say about Anyone the Wanderer is he's very, very good at doing double tracking and like triple tracking, quads, whatever I need him to do when it comes to, even if I'm not actually in the session. Like, he's very good at keeping his timing. There's every now and then he'll slip, but 90% of the time his timing is very on point. So I don't have to go through and do too much processing with something like a Melodyne, first and foremost, for pitch. His pitch is very good. And what's the other one that I use? What's it called? I'll pull it up because I cannot remember the name of it. Vocaline Ultra. Instead of having to vocaline things and time adjust things in that way, he's majority of the time he's on point. So I don't have to worry about it at all. I think these, we'll start them at like 50% wide and see whether they should go out wider or what. We'll figure it out.
You pick the music, new whip, who this, coming through, movements, where to, who with, you pick the music. You pick the music, new whip, who this, coming through.
We also can make a decision now on whether, for example, like the level of the main lead vocals, they were quite hot. So now if I bring those down and sync them into the production a little bit more, let's for example go back to like -4.
You pick music, new whip, who this, coming through.
You see how these harmonies, I haven't changed the level of the harmonies. I set them and then I've just obviously changed the level of the lead vocal and brought that with its effects back into the mix. And these harmonies now push forward. It's a little bit too much, but it was exaggerated so you could hear what I was talking about. So I want to split and sit in the middle.
You pick music, new whip, who this, coming through, movements, where to, who with, you pick the music. Nobody's an island.
I'd say about there, and I think maybe I'll tuck that down by like 1 more dB.
You pick music, new whip, who this, coming through, movements, where to.
Actually, no, I think I'll do another 2 dB, and then I can bring back the energy that's there with some EQ.
You pick music, new whip, who this, coming through, movements, where to, who with, you pick.
Yep, and then I want to decide the balance between these parts. So there's another harmony.
New whip, who this, coming through, movements, where to, who with.
So I feel like these should be 50% and the higher ones should be like let's say 80%. I don't want to go all the way 100 just yet, but I may change my mind.
New whip, who this, coming through, movements, where to, who with, you pick the music.
Cool, so
you pick music, new whip, who this, coming through, movements, where to, who with, you.
That's kind of a unison vibe. So what I will do is I will process them I'll process them in stereo for the time being, but I like to keep my separation. So what I'm going to do is figure out my ballpark EQ points and areas, and then I will copy this EQ, put it as a mono insert and put it on each individual channel, the left and the right. But first and foremost, I just want to get rid of some of the stuff that I can hear building up that I don't want in comparison to the lead vocal. So
New whip, who this coming through? Who with?
that doesn't need to be at 20. I need to go back to 12.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to?
And I believe there's a resonant frequency around here.
New whip, who this?
There we go. And we will be 30 dBs per octave.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to? Who with?
I always keep this at 18K just because it's just comfortable to me.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to?
I can hear too much build up down here, but I've got to be careful here.
New whip, who this coming through?
Because this, oops, I'm moving the wrong one. This is where the fundamental of the actual harmony, because it's not harmony, it's a unison, but it's the fundamental of it. This is where it sits. Majority of the energy is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it dynamically and see if that helps.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to? Who with?
I think that might be a bit too much. So let's go 4.5.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where you pick music. New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to? Who with? You pick the music.
Right. There is one other frequency that I can hear up in the upper mids. That's a bit scratchy.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to? Who with? New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to? Who with?
Let's just do 2. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to copy this little EQ curve that I've made and open it as a mono insert because I still want my separation. So there and there.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to? Who with?
What I will do here is DS each clip. It's probably going to be a lot heavier than what I did with the lead vocal because I don't need too much in the back of like as accompanying vocals. So if I go here, 1 second. That works for me. That works for me.
New whip, who this coming through?
That's better. And I'm just, is this got an S in it?
And I tell them cool.
Yep. So I will process that too. And that. And I'll just go through and quickly process these just so I don't have too much sibilance in my backing vocal tracks. Yeah, so now my de-essing on those backing vocals is done. I can now start to kind of sit them. These are unison, so I can kind of sit them in the mix and utilize it to add weight to these lines. And then when I add the actual harmony line, I use that as like a push out type vibe.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to? Who with? You pick the music. Nobody.
So if we jump to, I'll jump to here where there's a lot more of it going on.
Pick music. New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to? Who with? You pick. Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising. Aux lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune it. Map it out, set a new route, I put the window windows down.
So when we listen to that, we realize, okay, we took away too much down here. So we will move this band to, let's say, 100 hertz. Let's say 100 hertz. Copy that over.
New whip, who this? Coming through. Movements, where to? Who with?
Nice and thick there.
Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising. Aux lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune it.
And then all I want to do is utilize, I'll do it in mono. What I want to do is utilize, again, one of my favorite compressors. I will utilize this 2-to-1 mode, manual, just to kind of add a bit of a squeeze and consistency. Let's solo it.
New whip, who this? Coming through. Movements, where to? Who with? Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising. Alt lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune in. Map it out, set a new route, I put the windows down.
Let's go.
New whip, who this? Coming through. Movements, where to? Who with?
I like that.
Catch me outside, I'm about to.
It's heavily compressed. So what we're going to do now, these are backing vocals. So all I'm going for with this is consistency. So I can see I'm getting like almost 10 dB of gain reduction. I don't think I'll be putting 10 dB back in, but I think I want to start at 10 and kind of work my way around and just see how that feels.
New whip, who this? Coming through. Movements.
Because you can hear there's quite a big disparity there in game. It's not game matched.
Enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some.
But I like the transients that it brings forward. So I feel like I am going to sit at adding 10 back. So we're going to do that. Copy that over. Bypass it. Unmute it. And we'll listen in solo.
New whip, who this? Coming through. Movements.
Can you hear the transients?
Who with? Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising.
I like that.
Aux lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune it. Map it out, set a new route, I put the windows down. Who this?
So now that I've got that level of consistency, I can bring it down in volume a bit. The objective is to have it quite forward, but I can bring it down a touch. Bear in mind, when I'm doing backing vocals, I always add my parallel compression. If I'm going to use it, I'll add it afterwards because sometimes I don't need it. But sometimes what I like to do is I'll get the vocals, the backing vocals sit in a certain way. And then if I'm like, do you know what? I could just use a little bit more top end brightness in a compressed way. I'll do it in parallel. I could use a bit more weight. I'll do it in parallel, in compression though. And it just helps me give a really solid feel to the background vocals to match the style that I have when it comes to mixing the lead vocals.
Pick music, new whip, who this? Coming through, movements, where to? Who with? You pick.
And what I might do with something like this is, do you remember on the lead vocal, we use my 3D bus effects? I like to do a similar thing on the backing vocals, but I'll either go extreme and blend, or I will just use a different form. So I think in this case though, I will be doing extreme and blend because I want a bit of a crowdy sounding vibe.
Pick music, new whip, who this?
See if I bring that in, if I go, where are we? 3D BG.
Pick music, new whip, who this? Coming through.
I like that. It wraps around your head a bit more. So let's do this.
Pick music, new whip, who this? Coming through. Movements, where to? Who with? You pick. Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising. Aux lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune it. Map it out, set a new route, I put the windows down.
I'm taking them down even further, and I think I am going to saturate them to
pick music, new whip, who this coming through?
And I think I'll add some air.
Pick music, new whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to, who with, you pick. Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising. Aux lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune it. Map it out, set a new route, I put the windows down. Who this coming through? Moving.
Maybe a bit too much air. Let's split the difference, so let's just call that 3 dB.
Pick music, new whip, who this coming through? Movement.
There is something in the low mids that I don't
music,
like.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to, who with, you pick. Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're up.
So we've got the unison stuff there. And then, well, slightly unison, because once the catch me outside part comes in, that bit isn't unison, it drops down. But, well, technically it is unison, as in it's carried the same register, but the lead vocal has gone up in register. So there's a separation there that happens, and the other harmony follows suit in the same way. So if we go to this section here,
New whip, who this
these hires,
movements, where to?
We definitely need to DS. So if I pull that back up, I will do it on my Stream Deck. It's just easier. Render. Hold on, let's zoom out so we don't miss anything. Render. So much quicker on a Stream Deck. Shout out Elgato. So yeah, we're gonna jump back into those higher parts.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to, who with? Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising. Aux lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune in. Map it out, set a new route, I put the windows down.
You can hear what this 3D effect is doing.
Who this coming through?
But I don't think here I want it as much, so I'm gonna go -6 dB.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to, who with?
But what I am gonna do, I'm gonna carry this EQ over, and more than likely I am going to have to dial it up a bit.
New whip, who this coming?
Alright, hold on.
New whip, who this?
See? There.
Where to, who with? Coming through, movement, where to, who with?
We'll move that to 150.
Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising. Aux lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune
Perfectly
in.
fine.
Map it out, set a new route. Top of the window. New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to, who with? New whip.
I will take the air out of that and roll that down to 8K.
New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to, who with? New whip, who this coming through? Movements, where to, who with? You pick. Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising. Aux lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune in.
I'm gonna take the same compressor and have a look at what it's doing.
New whip, who this coming through?
See, it's not as heavy.
Where to, who with?
So I'll take that, Drop it at 5.
New whip, who this? Coming through, movements, where to, who with? Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in
Let's
enough
go
cash to fill the
7.
tank, so we're about to do some cruising. Aux lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune in. Map it out, set a new route, I put the windows down. Who this? Coming through,
Happy with that.
pick music, new whip. Who this? Coming through, movements, where to, who with? You pick. Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the.
What I can hear now is that these high backing vocals have something weird happening. Let me go here. Have something weird happening in the upper mids, and it's quite scratchy and getting in the way of the lead vocal. So I've boosted the crap out of it, and I'm going to find it and then reduce it.
New whip, who this? Coming through, movements, where to, who with?
I have a feeling
Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in
it's
enough
there.
cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising.
Yep. So let me take that out. I'm going to go 4 dB out.
Pick music, new whip, who this? Coming through, movements, where to, who with? You pick. Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising. Aux lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune it. Map it out, set a new route, I put the windows down. Who this? Coming.
And you know what? I feel like the lower vocals can go out a bit further, but I'm not going to do them at 80%. 80% panning. I'm going to do them at 70% panning.
Pick music, new whip, who this?
That's
Coming
it.
through, movements, where to, who with? You pick. Catch me outside, I'm about to pull up in enough cash to fill the tank, so we're about to do some cruising. Aux lead or the Bluetooth, we can tune it. Map it out, set a new route, I put the windows down. Who this? Coming through, movements, where to, who with? You pick the music, new whip. Who this? Coming through, movements, where to, who with? You pick the music. Abstract with the action, could have been superstitious and absent. Excuses keep a man stagnant. Tell me how many actually happen. Stuck in your ways is just a distraction. Feeling brand new won't go out of fashion. I'm the lord of the law of attraction, and the gal them are asking the accent. Feels like if I change location, then I'm gonna gain way more traction. Tracks on heavy.
And typically, I feel like where I've got to there is a point where I'll be like, okay, so now it's time to have a rest and come back and have a listen and see where I'm at and start making more decisions for the rest of the song also. So I'll take a break and I'll come back.